It's Sunday night on Sauga 960 AM and Monday night on YouTube. You know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Sauga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, and on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow Ringside Heat at ringside_heat on all of your social media as well. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media. It is a weekend of wrestling between the two biggest wrestling companies in the world. WWE puts on King and Queen of the Ring over in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And coming up in less than an hour, the main card of AEW Double or Nothing will be on the go. And of course, you can join Lex, myself. You can join Colin, who's on our screen right now at Risen72, on the live reaction on YouTube, which we will have for you. You watch that. You can watch the buy-in and then go into AEW Double or Nothing, or you can watch with us and you can and you can live react with us as well too, and watch the show with us as we go along. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're entertaining, as you saw the last time on the AEW stream, and it's going to be it's another great weekend for this genre of professional wrestling, which we all know and we all love. And that's why you're listening to us, because you love professional wrestling, as do we. Colin, how you doing, brother?
Well, as you might be able to see, my Samoa Joe shirt arrived.
Ooh, yes, that's right. That's right.
And he's not on the card. So what the hell, TK? Come on. My shirt finally gets here. Where's Joe?
Well,
I want Joe.
Well, I mean, like he did have to drop the AEW World Championship to Swerve Strickland, which is where we do have a few issues there that we were discussing this week. Jimmy Corderas on the Reffing Rant this week talked about Swerve Strickland and his, I guess, lack of presence, quote unquote, for a better term, on AEW Dynamite, the flagship go-home show before AEW's anniversary show, their WrestleMania, you might add, you might call it that way, or their anniversary show.
And it's a milestone pay-per-view. This is the 5th Double or Nothing. They're hitting 5-year milestones now.
That's right.
This is a big pay-per-view. So, and it's actually a quite decent card, I think, to tell you the truth. So
that's right. Your typical double-digit card and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, but the double digit's only 12. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
That's restraint.
That's true.
Restraint from TK. What's happening? We truly in the end times.
Oh boy! Don't talk about end times with me right now. That's for sure.
Me neither. Yeah, we can't go. No. That's a dark road. Wrestling's our escape. Let's get into it. Yeah,
that's right. And first of all, before we get into the two major promotions in the world right now, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody over at New Beginnings Pro Wrestling Training. As we're recording this right now at 12:31 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning, I guess technically speaking Sunday morning. I just came back a few hours ago from their Ignite. Their Ignite show, which featured a whole bunch of great young and up-and-coming talent within the wrestling industry here in the Ontario independent circuits. And it was another great night, just calling wrestling matches and learning the craft and being around good people who love wrestling and love to wrestle and want to put on some great shows here for the Ontario scene. And just want to shout out some of these guys over here. Let's see, we got Hundo P, we have John Crew, Raid, Omen, Brandon Sue, Brian Samuels, Asher Shade, or some. I'm sorry. That's it. Ashton Shade. That's it. I'm getting him mixed up with Asher Riot, who's also on the card over here.
What?
Let's see. You got the Brawler. We've got Chris Paradise. We got Night Patrol. Alec Knoll. We've got Idol Clayton Kincaid, who is from Oshawa and wrestled his first match in Oshawa since 2008. So welcome back to Clayton Kincaid, and also Aaron Uno, and of course the head of pro wrestling of New Beginnings Pro Wrestling Training, Adrian Astar, who also wrestled as well too, and did an insane swanton swanton spot today. So one of the spots where they was couple of wrestlers, I believe it was Hundo and Sybil Shepherd, who yes, her name is Sybil Shepherd, set up a couple of chairs.
Wow,
yeah,
go at this age, good for her.
Hey, what's her name? Moolah took that power bomb from Bubba, you know.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, exactly. So they set up a spot where they bridged a closet door
Sure.
over a couple of chairs. They put
was it real glass or fake glass? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh,
no.
Oh boy!
Was it a sugar closet door? That's what I. Anyway, sorry.
Man, do I really miss the days where I would love to sing that song. Anyway,
we can't afford that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly. The closet door. So they put Aaron Uno on the closet door, and from the top rope, Adrian Astar went and did this insane swanton spot, putting Aaron Uno through the door, which is amazing. Oh yes, I should also mention as well, friend of the show, AC Fitz. He also wrestled a couple of matches that night. He was wrestled.
Maybe not friend of the entire show. I still have my issues with Mr. Fitz. Let's just anyway. That's fine.
Well, you'll be number one. Happy to know that Mr. Fitz and I had a little altercation during the show as well too. Of course, in the kayfabe of the show, in which he actually took one of my headsets and did a whole rock thing and started taunting me on the microphone and everything. And so
he's messing with Boss Man Tan. I don't care for that. No.
Yeah,
he's not winning any more points. No.
Hey, and I got I got a chance. Hey, you know what? I spent money for my stuff, and a lot of them hand me down as well too. But it's like, you know, I can't really afford some big and expensive recording equipment at this time. Yeah. And so when he was, and so he had it on. He put the headset on my head and started berating me, and I was just I just shoved him. I was able to give him a nice good shove before he got back into his match. And no, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I'm surprised and not surprised at the character he displayed. So, okay. Yeah. All right.
And he also might be depending on his schedule, he might actually be able to do the next week's show with us as well too. So I would love to be able to have him on.
If he shows up, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see about that.
That's a challenge, Ty. That's a challenge.
I'll be here next week. Will he?
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, we'll see.
There we go. Oh boy!
I'm completely safe in a completely other province. So yeah, come on, buddy. Let's go.
It's going to be a fun show next week, that's for sure. But it's also a fun show this week, and so it's going to be, as I mentioned, it's going to be one-on-one Lex and Colin doing their thing over here, and we are going to be talking about WWE's King and Queen of the Ring and Double or Nothing from AEW, which also you can follow us as we do the live stream reaction on YouTube and also on whatever your favorite choice of social media platform, because we got them all and we're going to be on them all. Anyway, we're going to take a short break over here. We're going to get more into the wrestling talk when we come back. And by the way, listen to this shout out that we've got over here. I met Matt Riddle over at Destiny World Wrestling last Sunday, and he did this for us over here. We'll be back after these promotion considerations.
This is Matt Riddle, and you're listening to Ringside Heat.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lex Tan. Follow me at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat on X, on Instagram, on Threads, on TikTok, and we're up day. And also follow us wherever you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker. We're on there. We're on all of them. And
we're everywhere.
Hey, exactly. Exactly. Take that, City TV. Anyway,
TSN.
And I mean, like, who knows where AEW is being broadcast these days? I mean, TSN, but
hey, Rampage was actually on Friday this week, so that was exciting. Yeah.
Wow,
a nice little Rampage.
And they're also on, and apparently, Double or Nothing's on DAZN as well. So that's some place you could also watch it as well. Because we had people on the stream last time asking where we could find a free stream of it. And of course, we can't tell you where to find free streams of it because that would be illegal.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't know how any of that works.
But hey, YouTube, DAZN.
Knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. But we know the places where you can watch it for legal.
I use Triller.
When you pay for it.
I use Triller for the pay-per-views. So,
That's right. That's right. Hey,
formerly Fight, FITE. So.
Yep.
Yeah, the app logo changed one day. I'm like, okay, it's Triller now. Whatever. I can still get it.
Apparently, I think that's where you can find Destiny World Wrestling, which I was able to meet Matt Riddle. You heard him, with his little sign off for us, and it's met some great. Shelton Benjamin got a chance to shake his hand as well.
That's right. You did mention that. I forgot that. That would have been very cool. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Pixar it didn't happen, but Pixar didn't happen. So, but I also met a couple of great female wrestlers. One's named Maggie Lee, and then there's another. Her opponent was Heather Reckless without the W. Heather Reckless without the W, and both of them put on an amazing match. I believe that was the match of the night, aside of Shelton Benjamin's match and Matt Riddle and Joey Janela's match as well too. So it was a really fun night of wrestling.
No, I'm sorry, Shelton, Riddle, take a back seat. Ladies got it.
There you go. Exactly. And hey, Heather, you said you'd be interested to be in the show. Hey, you know what? We're right here. Let's get to talking about the show over here. But we are going to get to talk about one show in particular at the moment, which was WWE King and Queen of the Ring, which aired last night in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Last night in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, but also I guess yesterday afternoon for us here in North America.
I can barely figure out the time change between Eastern and Atlantic, so I'm not going to do the math for Jeddah.
Either way, we had 6 matches. All of 6 matches for this for this 3-hour pay-per-view. Apparently,
it's like a 5-minute pay-per-view. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right. It's like a Ricochet match. Come on, it's great.
And so the results over here, and I haven't watched the show fully, so we can talk. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the results and just some speculations that could happen, and anything that we could joke about as well too when it comes to these things as well, because there are this one actually it's one of those pay-per-views as well, even though whatever I guess objections that we have to the implications into the canon of WWE that we've had, if you listen back to our older episodes of Ringside Heat, these episodes are now canon within the storyline of the kayfabe of WWE now. So it's interesting to talk about. So the first match was the pre-show match. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retained their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And then we got into the first match of the night. It started off by Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, the Women's World Champion, the Women's World Champion, until 16 minutes and 25 seconds later, where Liv Morgan was able to pin Becky Lynch in order to win the Women's World Championship with a little bit of inadvertent help by Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Apparently, he tried to help out. Apparently, he tried to help out Becky because because the story was he didn't want Liv Morgan, who injured Mommy, to get anywhere near that title. But it all backfired, and just a part of me that feels like maybe because of the whole because of Dirty Dom, Rhea being away, and we were talking about this before the break, whatever like that. Matt Hardy, the Matt Hardy Edge Lita storyline. Maybe there could be something around with Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan at this point.
Well, I mean, the track record on Liv Morgan. Let's not forget poor Rusev and Lana.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's a pattern. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Absolutely, no one is safe from Liv Morgan.
And by the way, she's single now. She's officially revealed that she is single.
Yeah, so's Lana. It's just diabolical.
Oh my gosh! Here's the thing: I didn't even know until before the break that Lana and Lana and Miro, CJ Perry and Miro, are no longer a thing. Not just in kayfabe.
Yeah, not just in kayfabe, yeah. So apparently the storyline was true. The storyline always ends up being true. So wait, actually, I'm thinking of some really bad storylines. Okay, yeah. They can't all be true. All right, anyway.
Yeah, let's move on.
move on. Dangerous territory. We shouldn't be doing this show this late.
Yes, we should. Next match on the card was Sami Zayn retaining his WWE Intercontinental Championship, defeating Chad Gable with Otis and by his side, and Bronson Reed by pinfall in 13 minutes and 40 seconds. And that's a big win for Sami. And of course, one thing about Sami, he always does a really good job of being the underdog and portraying himself as the underdog. Even when he is not the underdog, he portrays himself as such, and it's very effective. And the fact that he was able to beat Chad Gable again for another Olympian, and of course Big Bronson Reed, who they could have booked as a squash the two. That's
the thing. Yeah, even if he's not normally the underdog, just in that triple threat, he would have to be just simply by his build alone compared to those two, right? Because you can't get more solid than Gable, and then the other one. I mean, the name alone tells you. So yeah, exactly.
But exactly, and here's the thing, and the thing that's, and I think that works that Sami Zayn did get the pin on Chad Gable because Chad Gable did not pin Sami Zayn, he lost his match against Sami Zayn in Montreal a couple of weeks back. So it makes sense that way that Sami would get the pin that way, but and it retains Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed did not factor into the decision.
Yeah.
So
that's the beauty of a triple threat. You can get away with the champion doesn't even have to be pinned, so you can keep people strong, and you can have where it's like two bruiser types versus a live person, and then they get away because the live person gets in there while the two bruisers are distracted with each other. There's a lot you can do beautifully in a triple threat match, so it's great.
The next match on the card was the Queen of the Ring tournament final. It was Nia Jax from SmackDown defeating Lyra Valkyria from Raw, who just got promoted from NXT at the WWE draft by pinfall in 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So as a result, since Nia Jax has won the match, she earned herself not just the crown, but a match for her brands for SmackDown's WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam.
What did you say earlier? Was it welcome to Raw, and then Nia happens?
Welcome to Raw. Welcome to Raw, Lyra. Hope you like concussions. Anyway.
Yep. Oh, now I've been told she's been getting better, so I like redemption if she's getting better. I mean, we want Nia to be. We don't want anybody injured, and we want people improving. So if she's getting better, then more power to her.
Yes, and to that fact, I think the fact that she's actually getting this opportunity, that shows that there is an improvement in her ability to not injure people in the ring. Yeah. Anyway,
it's one thing not to be entertaining, but if you're hurting coworkers, it's not great. So you can't always turn it around like Becky did. So I'm just
exactly, and it's a very having that reputation to injure somebody, it's a very deep hole that like that you could fall into, if you know what I mean. Anyway,
but yeah. Sounds like she's learning those, so that's great. That's great to hear. But we're still going to make fun because we're kind of jerks, so that's what happens. We're wrestling fans. That's what we do.
There you go. Everybody in the indie promotions listening to this right now is just like, yep. Or sorry,
I'm not making any friends. Forget AC Fits. I'm making more enemies I don't even know about, I'm sure. But
oh, sorry. Let me
come at me. I'm in Nova Scotia. Let's go.
Actually, there's
do a show out here.
Actually, yes. You know what? One of my friends over in the Indies over here in Oshawa, Andrew Love, over the summertime, he's going to be going off to the Maritimes to do a series of shows for over the next
with
3
East
months.
Coast, probably. Okay.
Yeah. And so, when he's over there, I'll make sure that I'll find the show closest to you if you're able to drive to it or anything like that. But
I mean, there's a provincial bus line. I'm sure I could hop on.
Yeah, and Andy is always is always fun to watch. So you know what? If, when Andy's in your part of this, your part of the Maritimes, I will make sure that you know where it is, and then I would love if you get to see an Andrew Love match. So.
I'll cover the east end of Fort. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Just gotta come out here. I'll get there.
Yeah. Andrew, look out! Ringside Heat's everywhere. Anyway, King of the Ring tournament final between Gunther on Raw defeating the Viper Randy Orton from SmackDown by pinfall in a match that took 21 minutes and 50 seconds. And even though I didn't see this match, I want to watch this because these two can seriously go.
Yeah, it even came across my feed, and there was a controversial ending that apparently Triple H has already addressed, where it was a mistake by the ref that one of Orton's shoulders was not actually on the mat. But I think they're going to continue it properly into a legit storyline. So I guess watch on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ronda Rousey knows a little bit about that.
Oh, jeez. Again, we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. We can riff all night just on that alone.
Exactly. And then in the main event of the evening, you're going to like this news, Colin. Cody Rhodes retains his undisputed WWE Championship in a match that took 24 minutes and 20 seconds, defeating Logan Paul by pinfall. And at the end of the match, Michael Cole called Logan Paul a loser on air. It was great.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Michael Cole scored points in my book. Good for him.
Yeah, exactly. And which in the most non-surprising finish ever. Of course they're not gonna give Cody Rhodes the championship to Logan Paul this early in his run.
Hey, they hired him. They gave him a belt. I have no faith in what they're gonna do with this guy. So. Well, it's been well documented.
Well, here's the thing. Originally, it was supposed to be belt versus belt, right? But then they had to change it because it's like they had to change it because Cody would, if Cody wins, then if Cody wins, then he gets both the United States Championship and the WWE Undisputed Championship as well.
Yeah, AEW is the only show where everyone's going to have 12 belts at once. Okay, you can't have WWE getting in on that racket. I won't stand for it. So,
not even if it's Hogan and Warrior from '91.
Okay, that was cool, but only because it was in Toronto.
And then there's of course there's that epic second ladder match ever in WWE between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels for to unify whatever Intercontinental Championship shenanigans there were.
It was like the white belt versus the yellow belt or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was weird.
Yes. So whatever you think about this this pay-per-view or this premium live event, I'm still saying pay-per-views up to this day.
That's what they are. They're pay-per-views. They're not Paul Levesque entertainment zones.
But they are these. But they are kind of these days, you know.
No. They're pay-per-views. It's the Air Canada Center, it's the Sky Dome, and they're pay-per-views. I will die on those hills.
Well, in that case, the Coca-Cola Coliseum is not the Rico Coliseum. It's the CNE Coliseum, and the O'Keefe, and it's the O'Keefe Center. not the Hummingbird or the Sony Center, or whatever.
It was the Hummingbird, and I think now it's the Sony. I don't know,
or something like that. But it's the O'Keefe.
It's the O'Keefe. Well, it is. It's just the O'Keefe. You say O'Keefe, people know where the O'Keefe is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, up to last year, the Rogers Center Skydome still had the garbage bins, which were made out of cement and rock, right? That still had the stylized D logo on the sides.
That's right.
Yep, and I actually was kind of sad that they took it away. and even at Union Station for a while, like for at least a good 10-15 years after the name change, they still had Skydome, not Rogers Center, in Union Station.
Yeah, and I think the longest time the Skyway was still.
It's still the Skyway, apparently.
Yeah,
or Skywalk.
Skywalk.
Yeah. The Skyway is some bridge in Hamilton, but anyway.
Hamilton. Oh, no, I'm not going to make enemies out of Hamilton. No, Hamilton's fine.
But hey, you know what? I'll also shout out to Rip Impact from Hamilton, from Hamilton Pro Wrestling over there, and just cool to meet that guy, and also to see the kind of and to help take down his ring as well. So hey, it's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of shout outs. I'm doing a lot of shout outs tonight for whatever reason. I don't know.
Apparently you know everybody now. So yeah.
I hope you. Well, the next thing is Santino Marola. That would be so much fun. I would love to. I would honestly love to interview Santino or Anthony. Oh, I'd love to interview Anthony, but I would love to do a spot with Santino.
Yeah. I mean, that would go. It's just going through my mind how insane and awesome that would be. So yeah. Yeah.
And so, hey, you're listening to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM. Whatever you thought about King and Queen of the Ring over in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, let us know. And of course, you can see us. You can see it right here. Tune into Ringside Heat Sundays at 7 p.m., Tuesdays 9 p.m. on Sauga 960 AM. Also, remember that you can follow us on X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and also follow us on all of your favorite podcatchers as well as YouTube. We're going to take a quick break over here, but when we come back, Colin is going to run down the card for AEW Double or Nothing at the MGM Grand, which the main card will be starting in just a few minutes at 8 o'clock when the show ends. And also make sure that once this show ends over here, you're going to go and watch us as we do a live stream reaction on social media. But we'll be back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube. My name is Lex Tan at Lex Tan Media, and of course, right beside me here on the screen from Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia. Well, from Toronto, but via Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia.
Slight detour for the last decade, yeah.
Yes, at Risen 72, Colin Dodge, the responsible one of the ring crew. We are now going to be running down the card for AEW Double or Nothing. And it emanates from Las Vegas, and it is at the MGM Grand Arena. And in just a few minutes, the main card will go live. And of course, you can follow us if you're following us on any social media, which would be Instagram, on Facebook, on X, and on Twitch as well. We're on. I'll be going live. I'll be putting this live on Twitch as well.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't even know about that one. Nice. Okay.
Yep. We're going multi-platform over here for our live stream reaction to AEW Double or Nothing, which will probably take us until midnight. But midnight on the midnight in Eastern time, 1 o'clock for you. Geez, Colin.
Hey, I got Monday off. It's all good. I might even watch the press conference afterwards. So. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, so anyway, But yeah, we've got we got a good amount of time over here. I believe we've got about 22 minutes left here on the airtime to talk about 12 matches all in all for AEW Double or Nothing. And you were saying earlier that this is a little bit of restraint on Tony Khan's end.
Well, I mean, yeah, just say, time to fill. I can talk through an entire AEW pay-per-view, so 22 minutes is nothing, sir. Do not worry. But yeah, restraint. Okay, 6 matches. That's just a buy-in pre-show. I don't know what you're talking about. No, but it's 12 total matches, which is definitely restraint. This is of the lower end of double-digit numbers. So, and it's a pretty solid card. There's always a couple matches I don't think need to happen, or at least on a pay-per-view. But So to start off with the pre-show, Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo, just a singles match. I don't think they're billing it an eliminator match or anything. I don't think the winner of either of this goes on to face Toni Storm or anything like that. But anyway, so it's Thunder Rosa versus Deonna. I'm still not sure what Deonna's character is supposed to be. I think they've lost whatever it was going to be because they moved her away from Toni Storm pretty fast as well. So either way, it's an opening match. We know Thunder Rosa's going to do work because, I mean, she's great. But, it's a singles match. Right after that, we have a trios match between the former trios champions, the Acclaimed, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn versus the Cage of Agony, because we don't say cage enough on the roster of AEW. So this is the Cage of Agony, which is Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. Wow. Leona and Bishop Khan. So yeah, because Cage is teaming with them. So they're the Cage. Everybody has about 18 different factions that they're in, depending on who they're teaming with. So it's great. You don't
think about AEW factions and AEW tag teams. That's the kind of stuff that me and my sisters and my brother would do back in the day when it comes to like putting like random tag teams together. For instance, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and what's that? Stone Cold Steve Austin and Billy and Chuck were something like I don't know what models or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's like just some silly stuff like that, and it's and apparently it's coming true in AEW, like Swerve in My Glory or something like that.
Swerve in Glory. Yeah. I like it to trying to follow X-Men spin-off groups. Because there was X-Force, or even with the Avengers, there's the New Avengers, and then there's the Dark Avengers, and then so it's like trying to follow comic book superhero groups, right? So, or you can say music supergroups too. You got Traveling Wilburys, all that kind of. Anyway,
speaking of supergroups over here, there was a joke from Conan when he did In the Year 2000 back on NBC, and he's like, so La Bamba sings In the Year 2000, and it went the Goo Goo Dolls and Lady Gaga came together and formed a supergroup for children's music, and they named it Goo Goo Gaga.
Which sounds, I think there was something like that was a hit song in the 70s too, but I mean, that's the 70s. So what are you going to do? Was it All We Are is it's the radio. Oh shoot. I can't think of it. Anyway, we're going to have to pay for it if I figure out what the lyrics are.
No, we don't have to pay. We wouldn't have to pay for it or anything like that. It would because it is an actual performance on the radio done by a Canadian artist on the radio. And such as yourself. If we had played the audio of it, we could only play 3 seconds of it, and then we'd have to pay.
Well, we're gonna lose fans if I sing anything, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Next match. So apparently the opening match, which I think is fair as an opening match, but I might change it. I think we'll talk about match placement a little bit later. But the opening match is going to be Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black in the barbed wire steel cage match for the AEW TNT Championship. Now, there was another point I was going to make about there's low-key or subtle storylines that are happening in the background that you can easily miss while they're flashing you with, you know, all the elite nonsense and all that kind of stuff, right? You're getting distracted by the elite and all the craziness that really doesn't matter. And you're not seeing the slow, awesome stuff like Swerve and Christian and Adam Copeland and Malachi Black, because it was on Dynamite. Malachi Black got a bloodbath.
That's right. And
I'm thinking, is Adam Copeland going to get a new brood going? And I'm like, it can only be better than his version of Judgment Day, because that was terrible. I was still watching when that happened, and I'm like, oh, this is not good at all. And they named it after a pay-per-view. And I know I've said this a bunch in our chat and get, you know, and I did not like the beginning of it. It's great what it is now, you know, so it was fixed. Whether Adam Copeland was the problem, I have no idea. That doesn't matter anymore. But I just thought, oh, he's getting a bloodbath. And the whole thing is that Malachi is driving Adam to his dark place, you know? So I thought, okay, that's like Randy Orton language, but still, that's fine. I like it.
And it's Malachi. And it's Malachi Black as well, too. And we know he can bring it. So I have no problem with that. But I will also counter the whole Judgment Day thing and say that I liked what was happening with Judgment Day in the beginning, but but in order for them to get to where they are now, it was good that they had Edge, I guess for lack of a better term at the moment, yeeted out of the Judgment Day before staying too long and everything, so that they could actually develop the character of the Judgment Day individually and as a faction. But I will also say the silliest ever use of Judgment Day was in the Undertaker's Big Red Evil theme. You done it now, blah 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 blah. This is gonna be your Judgment Day. I'm just like, oh god. And he'd won the championship from Hogan at Judgment Day just a few months before the lyrics came out for that song. Yeah.
Look, don't be giving AC Fitz any ammo in case he comes on next week. Don't be bringing up the bad stuff like that. Okay, whose side are you on, Lex?
It's a very complicated relationship between me and AC. So I shoved him for touching my stuff, even though he had his stuff in my ears, or in his ears, basically. From the last couple of shows before he became an actual, full-fledged wrestler on the New Beginnings roster. So, but anyway,
next match. We have now. This is another one. Roderick Strong firmly has Undisputed Kingdom on his back, or on his strong neck, and he is the best part of Undisputed Kingdom right now. Adam number 2 won't stop playing video games, and people keep forgetting Wardlow's even in the faction. So, but it's going to be Roderick Strong defending the AEW International Championship versus Will Ospreay.
Oh, and that, of course, is Will Ospreay. Wow, yeah.
Unless some kind of major shenanigans, because Matt Taven and Mike Bennett will be at ringside. I didn't hear anything about anybody being banned, because I'm sure the Callis family might be at ringside as well. Because don't forget, Will Ospreay's in the Callis family.
That's right. Yeah.
That's kind of a subtle thing as well. That could implode at some point, because some of the beatdowns and stuff Will Ospreay was not a fan of, and was yelling at Don Callis about that. So anyway, that'll be interesting. No, I honestly don't know. The easy bet would be, of course, Will Ospreay is going to be winning every championship he can get his hands on, but I don't know. It could still go either way, because Roderick Strong's the best thing going right now for that faction. So I don't know if you want to cut that faction down to its knees with Adam Cole not back yet. So, and then we have, which I think might be better as the first match, the grudge match: Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy.
Best friends.
No longer, because Chuck Taylor, apparently his wrestling career is over. Whether that's actually true or part of the kayfabe story, I don't know. I think it might actually be true.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, his last match, of course, with Trent, would make sense. Of course, you want to go out with your buddy. But that's another subtle thing. Don Callis has been trying to recruit Orange Cassidy. So Orange Cassidy going heel? Will it fall apart like it did with Austin? I don't know. Austin going heel didn't. They really tried. They had him beat the crap out of JR. It still didn't really take. So
it's tough. I mean, Orange is so just beloved for the element that he brings, and it's kind of and it's and especially the way that they've made him not a joke wrestler. Now that's the one thing I will give this to AEW for all the flack I give them. He was a comedy wrestler, and everything. It's just like it was fluff wrestling, for lack of a better term. But they made him a serious contender, and I love that they did that for him.
That title shot he had versus Kenny Omega, that's really what solidified it. And he's been and then of course his run as the international championship or broken geography championship. I almost said geometry. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've been in school. But so that's Orange Cassidy possibly going heel or kind of where Ospreay's not heel-ish maybe when he's on the mic, but he's in the Don Callis family and people see fine with that. So that's another interesting subtle thing that you're easily distracted of. The next match, I am not interested in anything that the Bang Bang Gang does, but they are defending their trios unified world trios championships. They're all carrying 6 belts. It's one championship. They actually brought out a little buggy to carry all their belts.
Wow, Freebird rules and just take it to the next level.
Pretty much, yeah. But they mistakenly picked a fight with Pac, which is a bad idea. Yep. Because Pac's 2 best amigos have returned. Yep. So they are now defending their championship against Death Triangle, and I cannot be more excited for this match because AEW, I learned of the Lucha Brothers thanks to AEW, and I've been a super fan of theirs ever since. Rey Fenix is back from injury. He's looking jacked and ready to go. Penta is always Penta, so that's going to be great. I don't even mind Alex jumping around the ring. It's fine. Everybody gets a hype guy. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Leave Alex there. I know Chico hates him, but whatever. It's fine. So... question was always brought up, well, don't you at least want to see Logan Paul get beat up? No, I don't want to give him any time. But Jay White is just annoying enough. I do like seeing him get beat up and also the Guns. So I'd be surprised if Death Triangle doesn't win this match because I don't think Bang Bang Gang is still as over as they want them to be. So, but Ringside. Death Triangle's back and I love it. That's my next shirt is a Penta shirt.
Interesting. Yeah.
Love Penta.
Ringside Heat on Newstalk Sauga 960 AM. We only have a few minutes over here left in the show. We've got
lightning round.
Let's go into lightning round. Exactly.
Okay, 3-way for the FTW championship, or for the world championship that the Learning Tree has rechristened it. Chris Jericho being super douchey, and I love it. He's also renamed Big Bill, thank God. He's calling him Redwood, which is better than Big Bill, and at least kind of makes sense. But it's Jericho defending versus Hook and Shibata. So that's probably going to be surprisingly good, because it's Jericho at his most annoying, and Shibata's in there too. And even Redwood is actually kind of entertaining. And it's been a long time. So apparently he remembered that, even though you can't teach that. He remembered that. It was a weak joke that I just tried to do right there. But that's fine. Anyway, next up, another match to look forward to. Jon Moxley defending this is an eliminator match. If Takeshita beats Jon Moxley, he then gets a shot at the IWGP World Championship match. So this will probably be a nasty one. Takeshita's looking better and better all the time. He doesn't seem as dangerous as he was with his match with Will Ospreay. So any bad habits, I'm sure Moxley will kick it right out of him during that match. Then we have Tony Storm, Timeless Tony Storm, the best thing happening in the women's division right now, defending against Serena Deeb. That's going to be a sleeper hit. I think that will be the best wrestling match of the night and could easily take the night because we know Serena Deeb is awesome, and so is Toni Storm. So that's going to be one to watch. And then, of course, this angle is finally interesting thanks to the contract signing segment, but it's Willow Nightingale defending against Mercedes Moné for the AEW TBS Championship. I would honestly be shocked that Mercedes doesn't win. We know Mercedes can wrestle, but her mic work and character work so far has fallen flat for me.
I would agree with that myself.
And Willow's always been kind of flat for me, but now that she's finally angry, like she's a lot more interesting. Like, I'm fine with. I love the New Day. I'm fine for positivity, but at some point you got to get mad and punch somebody in the face. So let's do it. Right? So that's finally a little bit interesting. But yeah, I'd be shocked if Mercedes doesn't win. Then we have the match. I don't think that needs to happen. And now that, unfortunately, Eddie Kingston is injured and is out of the match, I'm less interested in watching it. I'm a big FTR fan. Of course, I'm a big Bryan Danielson fan.
Of course.
Apparently, Darby Allin's only bringing a flamethrower to this match. At least that's what he did on Dynamite.
Oh, God.
But, The Rock uses a flamethrower. Everybody loves it. Darby uses a flamethrower. Everybody gets upset. So, I don't know. There's a
here's the thing. The Rock used the flamethrower to light his name on fire.
He ruined that sign. That was a perfectly good sign. Darby didn't set anything on fire. Even Undertaker set Kane on fire twice. So I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying, of all the fire play that's happened, I think Darby's was pretty good. He just shot it in the air. It's just a flamethrower in the air. Any 6-year-old could do that too. It's fine.
True. Okay.
No, it's not true. That's horrible. 6-year-olds shouldn't be having flamethrowers. Come on. Come on, Lex. But again, with match placement, I feel bad for Swerve and Christian Cage have to follow the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
So I was thinking even Anarchy in the Arena should be first.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, and first on the pre-show. No, not on the pre-show, but first on the main card. And I want the hot rumor is that MJF re-signed a long time ago, but is keeping it quiet. And because this is a 5-year milestone pay-per-view, I like to think MJF shows up at the end of this match. And if Swerve is still champ, Swerve versus MJF, that would be great. I don't know if you want to put top heel versus top heel with MJF versus Christian, although it would be cool. But
MJF, I would say with him, yes, he is one of the top heels, but the way his character has been and the way he has been received before he went on the Fritz was. He's our
scumbag. I know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He's a heel to everybody else, but he's a face to us, basically. Yeah. And I think that would I think he and if Christian Cage were to win, that would be great. That would be nothing but great for MJF, because Christian Cage would be able to would be that kind of that stepping stone, that milestone, in sort of in a sort of way that Chris Jericho did for MJF back in the day, and unfortunately, I don't know if Swerve Strickland at this point. He should be the one that's marketed and put over the top and everything, but apparently that's not happening for some odd reason.
Well. It's like I said in our chat too. I think it's to the point where let all this elite nonsense take center stage, and I'm hoping this Anarchy in the Arena match is kind of the stop to it, or at least it will now go on the back burner, because I think also this match, in my estimation, would be putting Swerve Strickland properly as a face now, going against Christian. especially if he wins, because he had a long, slow burn storyline that started with Hangman about chasing the AEW championship. And then that continued even more when he finally he's going to go against Joe for that. And then him and Joe going toe to toe, and the first person that actually shook Joe about not being scared of Joe. Everybody's scared of Joe. We all know Joe's going to kill you. That's what people chant. And they've effed up if you get in Joe's sights.
That's right.
And Swerve was not scared by Joe, and that threw Joe, so that was the story there. So I don't think they'll get, I'd be surprised if he loses, but I think that would solidify him as a face if he wins. And then that would be a good time for MJF to come in as well. I mean, they need MJF back. This elite stuff needs to quiet down. And yeah, I don't know. But there's a lot of, I don't know, you can call it mid-card, undercard, rest of the card. There's a lot of slow burn, subtle, interesting stuff happening. Just don't get distracted by the annoying elite stuff. I find it annoying. Not going to speak for everybody, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I also find it annoying myself, and and that's the Anarchy in the Arena match. I mean, like, it's going to be just a cluster, but it's a cluster.
It's hard to watch.
It's a cluster that I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
it's a cluster that I don't want to watch, unfortunately. Yeah. But guess what? Hey, it's almost 8:00, and it's almost time for you to switch over to our social media. I
got to turn on Triller.
That's right. It's almost time. That's right. It's almost time for you to switch over and listen to us and watch us on YouTube and on Twitch, on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, as we do a live stream reaction, a reaction stream to AEW Double or Nothing, which is starting in just a few minutes.
5 years.
That's right, 5 years. Thank you to Colin at Risen72, and thank you to all of you for listening to Ringside Heat. You can follow us at Ringside_Heat. Download us on all your favorite podcatchers, as well as YouTube, where you can see the video version of this. And as well, my name is Lex Tan, and you can follow me at Lex Tan Media. Thank you so much for listening tonight on Sauga 960 AM. We'll be back next week, and possibly with some guests as well, like ASC Fitz, possibly Hundo P. Who knows? Find out this week. Ringside Heat, we remember the things you probably forgot. Take care, good night, and have fun with Double or Nothing.